Today's Thursday, it's the 16th of February 2023 and we're down in Magalluf and we're just standing outside Western Water Park because Anita drove past the other day and said there's lots of work going on, so we come to have a look to see what's going on. And yes, there is. So the area's been fenced off, which it never was before, and they're actually putting up some shades for the parking area, which will be a great asset in the summer. So when you come here, you're going to see it looks quite a lot different. I think still a lot of work to be done. They've got all of the metalwork structure over that side, but as we pan around and have a look towards the right there's still lots of it lying on the floor. So we'll come back and have a look a bit later on, see what's going on, but they're getting ready for the new season. We've just been to Western Water Park to see what's going on there, and we've just driven around the corner, really at, I don't know, 200 yards, we've not gone very far, to film a car park. Yep, that's what we've got in the background, a car park, because that's where we're going to have Mallorca Live. Mallorca Live's coming up in May. Do we know the dates?
May the 18th to the 20th, I think. 18th
to the 20th, and it's when some big bands that I've never heard of come to Mallorca.
And I've just had a look at the lineup, and out of the there's hundreds of, well, not quite hundreds, but there's lots and lots of bands. And two of the main ones, I've not heard of them, are Chemical Reaction. Is that what I said?
Chemical Brothers, I think.
The Chemical Brothers, yes.
Or Chemical Reaction.
Chemical
Maybe
Brothers.
I should like that one.
And the Cooks.
The Cooks.
I've heard of the Cooks.
So this whole area gets transformed, and if we just have a look at it now, it really is just an empty car park, but they'll come up, they'll fence it all off, and they'll put up some areas for the artists to be, and they'll put a wall all around it, and there'll be a huge stage, and the whole thing goes crazy. And the parking, well, you can't park here, so you've got to find somewhere else to park. But you're actually just on the edge of Magalluf. It's the old aqua park, which was a water park that was here years ago. But that closed and has now been dismantled as far as I know. And so we've got this empty car park.
It was used for films though, wasn't it?
Yes, the local film company, Palmer Pictures, have used it as one of their bases. Actually, when they were filming that royal programme.
The Crown.
Oh yes, The Crown. So The Crown was actually based here for a time. They got caravans here and restaurants effectively here, portable restaurants. Everything was set up. So it's amazing what they can do to a car park. We're going to move on. We're going to move on now into Magalluf and see what else there is going on. We've just driven round from the site of the Mallorca Live concerts, which is going to be in May, and we've actually stopped off at the Karting Magaluf. So this is a place where you can come and have lots of fun go-karting. There's a track here for the younger children, but there's a full-size track just to the left there, and well, it looks quite an impressive track to me. I don't really know that much about go-karting. Although I have taught a family who are very much into it. That's the Lucas and Luna Flucha, who are very much big into go-karting and represent the island internationally. And their big brother, Lorenzo, he's moved on to Formula 3 now, so a big go-karting and racing driving family. But if you're staying in Magalluf, then this is really sounds like a real fun day out for younger people. Younger than us anyway, do you think? Yeah. So this is Karting Magaluf, and it's just, well, there's Magalluf, and that's where it is. We've just driven a little bit further, again only a couple of 100 metres, and we're actually outside Pirates, but it always astounds me how many chickens that there are wild here that just wander the streets, and this is one of the areas particularly where we find them. And we go to an industrial estate sometimes and there's hundreds of the things. So this is Pirates, another one of the places which will be opening up as soon as the season starts. They've already been advertising on Facebook, I've seen. And just like everything else, the area is now going to start to come to life. It's still only the 16th of February, which is very, very early. What seems very early, but I think we're going to find more and more places now opening up, and perhaps there is some truth that the season will be extended a little bit, and places certainly in Mallorca Majorca will be opening a little bit earlier than they would normally do. It all remains to be seen, of course. So we're entering Magalluf from perhaps the opposite side that we'd normally come in. We usually park near to Leo's, and we've come in at the opposite end. We park near to the Pirates, and just to the right we've got the hotels Don Juan, the Atlantic Park and the Martinique, and then just to my left we've got the church. And when you're booking your holidays, you might find that some of the hotels that you are looking for have actually changed the name. Seems to have been a little bit of a buyout, or some of the hotels have been sold and bought, or just changing their names as we go from 2022 to 2023. I think most will be staying the same, but there could be one or two surprises on the horizon. So we've got a nice little walk into Palma now. Ooh, into Magaluf. I've been doing so many videos in Palma, I'm just absolutely overwashed with Palma at the moment. It's the middle of Carnival, and I think I've done 3 videos so far which have covered last weekend, and the really big things are happening this weekend, so hopefully manage to get some more footage of those. Down to the left we've got the BH Mallorca apartments and the BH Mallorca and water park, so that's all down to this road that goes down to the left. It is a good job. I've been doing some videos on my own recently, and that's quite dangerous because I don't have Anita as my backup and to correct me. So in a recent video I got the date completely wrong, or the day completely wrong. There you go. Just so shows how much I need Anita. I can see a sign on the right that says Dreams Calvia Mallorca, the Meliá Calvia Beach, the Meliá South Beach, and the Sol Barbados. They're all over to the right there, and then we've got lots of bars down there as well, starting with Dreams on this side. The offices and buildings to the left are all to do with the local government, Calvia County Council. So the sign at the end says Ayuntamiento de Calvia. And just now we start really to see more and more of the bars, particularly on that far side there on the right hand side as I'm walking down. One of the reasons for coming down today is this hotel, which is the Sol Guadalupe. And I think if you are in the UK and you're trying to book this hotel, it appears be not open yet. However, Brian from Aberdeen, Scotland, wrote to me the other day and said it seems that the Guadalupe is open. And indeed, he is absolutely correct. It's the power of the internet, isn't it? And the Guadalupe is indeed open. And Brian tells me, I don't know how he gets his information, but anyway, he did. He tells me it seems to be that it's open for Spanish pensioners and not particularly for British holiday makers. So I'm sure that if they've got free rooms, I'm sure they would accommodate you. Well, not only is it open, it is really busy. Lots of people in here, but the predominant voice is Spanish. So Brian, you're absolutely right. The Guadalupe is open. Busy, and it was very warm in there, so they've got the central heating on. They've got an indoor swimming pool here, outdoor pool, neither of which have got a drop of water in them. They're both dry, so there's no water in the indoor pool either.
Not quite.
Oh, it's not quite indoor, it's sort of undercover in the shade. Yeah. But that's great news, isn't it? There's a hotel here, right in the heart of Magalluf, very popular with British tourists, and it's open. So Sol Guadalupe, you can add to the open list. So I was looking at the list that's provided by Philip Blackburn, and he, following what he's seen on the Sol Guadalupe website for openings of this year, has noted that it is closed now, but well, we can now officially say it's not. Just across the road we've got Mano's Place, very, very popular. All the tables and chairs are out, cushions are out, so I'm guessing that will be opening up a little bit later on today. Just come back to the Guadalupe. There are actually people sitting outside and on the sunbeds, but I guess you wouldn't be going in the swimming pool in February, would you? Well, I guess some people might. But certainly not us. We're just walking down towards the main streets of Magaluf, and obviously towards the beach. A little bit breezy. It's quite pleasant in the sun. And temperatures are supposed to be around about 17-18 degrees today. Across the road you've got the piano bar, Las Palmeras, and the Britannia. I don't think any of those actually open. Could be wrong though. We'll just have a little walk down towards the beach. I think somebody's just gone into the bank and tied their dog up. That's the nearest serviceable pillar. There's the Titanic just to the left, one of the places we've been going to recently. They're doing a little bit of work in there. And here's the ankler. Definitely doing a bit of work. Some quite serious building rubble there.
Is the pavement finished here?
Oh yeah, this bit of pavement hasn't been done. They've been working on lots of the paving stones, but these where we're walking now have not been done. And there we are, down at the beach. So that's the beach in Magalluf, 16th of February 2023, and not a soul on the beach by the looks of things. Well, a few behind me, but none in front. Anita's just taking photographs and sending pictures to people. I'll just slowly make my way along the beach here, enjoying the views. To my left I've got the Puerto Rico bar. And then the lounge, restaurant and bar, which also looks as though it's undergoing a bit of work. Actually, it's going to be the Zero Boat House. It's one of the houses, the last remaining houses on the beach is being converted into the Zero Boat House. So that'll be something to look out for later on. And then of course the old favourite, which is Tom Brown's. Tom Brown's from Manchester. And there's the new paving that's been done, but only up to this far. Beyond that, it's not done. (11:15) in the morning.
Yeah, no, I know. I just want. It's just an example.
And one of the few places open on the beach here is the Happy House, where you can get home cooking, tapas, and the best cocktails, of course. But what a view they've got, just looking out over the beach. Well, we're just stopping off at the Happy Place, right on the beach, enjoying this amazing view. And Anita's just pointing out that they have it's not an English breakfast, it's called an energy breakfast, which is 2 eggs, British bacon, English sausage, beans, tomato, mushrooms, toast, butter, all for the grand price of $3.95.
And hash brown as well. Free hash brown.
With a free hash brown. $3.95. My goodness.
We thought it was cheap at Shimali's.
Well, that is quite an amazing. Maybe we should have some. Maybe we should have an early lunch. Well, we've ordered a coffee, and we're both, or certainly I,
Can't resist.
I'm very tempted by this energy breakfast. Sounds great to me, but I'll have the coffee first and contemplate. Cheers, darling.
Cheers.
Well, we've resisted the breakfast today.
I've made you resist. We're going out tonight for dinner, so we're not going to have breakfast today.
So we're missing the breakfast. Yeah, we're both going out, but we're both going to different places. Anita's going out with her friend Liz, and I'm out with the boys. So I'm sure we'll both eat very well tonight, and we'll save the Happy House breakfast for later. But that's an unbelievable price at $3.95. I'm still a little bit shocked. Well, we'll come back and we'll just see what it's like. Look this way. So this is one of the areas that was repaved, and looks so much better now. It looks like there's an area that hasn't been finished off further up. Just going past the Daiquiri Palace, which refers to itself as a legend. I guess it is. And then Lineker's to the right here. Pizza Hut. Now there's a fast food joint I don't think I've ever had. Have we?
We have.
Have we? All right.
We went there went on a skiing trip with the kids as well.
I don't remember that. Must have been a very long time ago. This is the Magalluf Avenue. That's why it's called an avenue. Got a great lot of trees all the way down it. Actually, it's really quite pretty down there. Lots of foliage. There's no leaves on the trees here yet, but I'm sure they'll be appearing very soon. It's actually the time of year when we get the almond blossom, so we really do need to go out for a drive or a ride. Someone was asking about gambling. Not something I really know anything about at all, except the place in front to the right is called Bet Point, and they have been in the past, I think, sponsors of Rail Mallorca. I'm not sure whether they still are. Gambling has always been very restricted, government controlled in Spain. Not something that could be done easily, but I think the rules must have changed, and we've seen places like this pop up. Just getting past McDonald's on my left, that's closed.
Opening on the 1st of April.
Oh yes, there's the sign, look. Opening on the 1st of April, that's only a month and a half away. And there we've got cocoa bongos. Ooh, the trees have been nicely pruned. Magalluf's looking pretty good. Just above Cocoa Bongo is a nightclub called Beso. Kiss. Benny Hill's across the road and Burger King. Burger King, that's a really old name, and that's been around for donkey's years. Someone was asking about the winning post, which was the other place you could go and watch horse racing. There's a big for sale sign outside there. And the logo Bet Point is on there, so maybe that's where they've moved to. So we started this video near to Mallorca Live, and another place that used to have concerts, I'm not sure whether they still do, perhaps they do. Across the road has the stage. And you went to a concert there, didn't you?
I went to see Ed Sheeran there.
Ed Sheeran, that's a big name. I've even heard of that one. Is he the one that's ginger?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say that?
I don't know.
I don't think I could survive very long in England with all this wokeism. Temperatures are actually really, I find, quite pleasant. Anita's still feeling a bit chilly, although she's undone a coat, so I don't know what that means.
I haven't got my gloves on.
And she hasn't got her gloves on. Are your hands cold?
Yeah.
Hands are cold. Let me just test. Yeah, a bit chilly. We're actually now more or less at the back of Magaluf. There's a little residential area over to the right. But part of the problem, in my opinion, is that Magaluf doesn't have enough residents. And because it doesn't have permanent residents, then places can't afford to stay open in the winter time. So Magaluf closes down. If there were more residents, then
people would want to go out and have a drink, and that would allow bars and restaurants to stay open. Just not enough residents. So places like Palma in the city, or the places we visit like Manacor, Llucmajor, Inca, they're all quite busy. But Magaluf now, even Palma Nova's busier than Magaluf, because Palma Nova does have quite a lot of permanent residents. If you're driving to Magaluf, then this is one of the free car parks not too far from the beach, and well, it's empty now, but in the summertime it does fill up a little. I've parked here on a number of occasions then. And we're walking past a chain-linked fence, and the ground here was going to be developed. Probably still is going to be developed, but hasn't been. So it's been like this for a long, long time, like forever. And over to the right in the distance, there's a sports stadium. Actually, there does look to be some work going on over there. But that's where the Mallorca Cricket Club used to be. Mallorca Cricket Club being the MCC, of course. The MCC. Nothing to do with Marylebone. And so the Mallorca Cricket Club had to close because the area was going to be developed. They were promised somewhere amongst all of this on my left or in front, I'm not sure. But sadly it never materialised. And so as time passed, the people who were involved with the Mallorca Cricket Club, the MCC, some of them left the island, some sadly passed away, and others, I guess, found other interests. So don't seem really hear much at all of cricket on the island. Quite sad, not being a great cricket fan, but I'd always thought it was a great asset to the school and to the people around. So some of our children used to go to play cricket there, and that's now been lost. So we're heading along to the areas which haven't been yet developed.
The messy, be careful.
And looks like people walk their dogs here without caring too much about what happens. And so the pavement's not been made up. The road has always been a good road, but it looks as though that in part is needing a little bit of resurfacing. And we're actually heading now back towards Pirates. Which is where we parked the car. And this area just hasn't been finished off at all. There's a lot of pine trees here, and we've been noticing in other areas lots and lots of caterpillar nests in the trees.
Must be different pines that you don't know.
Well, no, I think these are the same. for some reason don't have the nests. But I did see a post by Lippy Lee actually.
Lee, I see that.
He posted a picture of a line of these caterpillars, which was many meters long, and the warning, be careful if you've got any pets, because they can prove fatal. But surprisingly, these pine trees don't seem to have so many.
Maybe Calvia have sprayed them all.
Or maybe years ago they used to have planes that flew over the forested areas and sprayed to kill the moths. But they stopped that because some of the villagers were complaining that they were flying over their village with this insecticide. You can understand they don't want insecticide being sprayed over their houses. So that was pretty much to a large extent stopped. And then they had these traps for the moths to fly in, and then I don't know whether the moths were killed or what happened, but it prevented the caterpillars from emerging. We've not seen many of those. All right, so now we are getting to
That drop on you.
caterpillar nests. I can't see any on the ground at the moment, but that's what the nests look like, and I don't see any actually coming out of that at the moment.
I wonder why there's only one.
Anita's really good at spotting these.
Oh, another one here.
Oh, she spotted another one. Oh, this one's even closer. I don't think I've ever noticed one that small before. And the moths will be, the caterpillars will be growing inside there, and then they emerge, and sometimes they just fall out of the tree, or other times they actually walk down the side of the tree, but they then go nose to tail. That's why they're called processionaries. And they do have them in other countries as well. I'm not sure whether they're all dangerous, but certainly the ones we have here are very dangerous.
You mentioned them in Mallorca once, didn't you, one of your friends?
Yeah, and somebody's mentioned them in Corsica, I think it was, another Mediterranean island, so I would imagine that they're the same. Well, we're almost back to the car, as we're almost by Pirates. I hope you've enjoyed our little walk around Magalluf, seen the sights, enjoyed a coffee, missed out on the breakfast, but we'll be back.
I've even taken my scarf off.
Must be getting warm. So thanks very much for watching, and we of course look forward to seeing you in our next video, wherever that may be. Bye for now.
Bye.